5 of streaming daily once a day here on the YouTube channel Chill Monger. How are you feeling today? I am doing decently. I've got Thunderbolts on my mind. Marvel making it super duper easy to cover them right now. The movie came out, and I was saying before the movie came out, maybe 3 years ago, if you find a video on my channel, I might need to dig. But I remember telling you guys, why are they doing this movie? They have so much chances to re-step. They could analyze the future and be like, Brave New World's not going to make money. We don't have to put Thunderbolts into production. I remember telling all of you guys, why is this movie going to start filming? Why don't they cancel it now? They're canceling other things like Armor Wars. It's when we heard Bob Iger say this stuff was quietly being canceled. He really just meant Blade and Armor Wars. I was going hard against it and making myself vocal about it, and here we are, somewhat 2-3 years later, and we're realizing, yeah, this thing didn't need to happen. I'm not over exaggerating it when I tell you this movie did worse than Brave New World. The sign of that is disastrous. However, there is a new marketing strategy over there at the studio. A strategy in which I have to say I like. I enjoy this new Avengers. It's a spoiler in the title. And I know that there's a whole bunch of people saying, you can't spoil it now. Well, what are you guys doing? I don't agree with that. I look at numbers. I look at logic. So logically, a number numerically, we'll break it down with you together. I hope you guys don't hear the background noise. Let's go to a movie like Iron Man 3. And we'll go to the original release and look at Iron Man 3, domestic. This thing overall domestically, it why am I going down? It grossed $409 million, meaning that's how many people came. 100% of the domestic audience who came to see the movie, they grossed $409 million. In opening weekend alone, and that's where we go to this part of the page, in the opening weekend alone, you can see Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it grossed 174. Now, remember that roughly half of the people who are ever going to see the gosh darn movie Iron Man 3, half of them, because it says 409, half of them roughly have seen the movie by Sunday. If I want to go to exactly half, I would say here, right? Roughly around here. By Wednesday, 6 days since the movie is in the movie theaters, half of your people have seen the movie already. When we're talking about, how could they spoil it? There's people who didn't get a chance to go and see the movies yet. I can't work around that. You don't get the privilege. You had Friday nights to do it. Maybe you're working, so maybe you got Saturday and Sunday off, as most human beings do, the majority of people do. I can't work and reserve my spoiler marketing for you. You are not enough people, because already half of my money is being made. I gotta now shift my marketing strategy for Thunderbolts, for Iron Man 3, for every movie that's ever happened. Shift it to attract the most people possible. This is a genius marketing strategy for Marvel. Before I continue, though, I'm going to show you that it's not just this Iron Man movie. Let's go to Creed. Okay. Creed number 3. This thing grossed 156. So when did half of the people show up domestically? 156 would be right around 71% or 75%. Yep, by day 7, by Thursday. 7 days after that, half the people who were going to see the Creed movie have already seen the movie. A huge chunk of people, the ones that you respect, the ones that make your money, the ones that relieve you, the ones that your hardcore fan base, see the movie in the beginning. Thunderbolts is good. They didn't need to cancel it. Thunderbolts is good. They didn't need to cancel it. Man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's canceled. There's no more sequel. They changed the poster on the AMC app too. Nice. Yeah, good little strategy that they've got. And we'll see how it plays out. There's no reason to believe it will play out, though, because they called the movie Captain America just in February, and it didn't make Captain America numbers. Nah, I got some people being upset that they might not have time to watch the movie this weekend, and we're waiting for the following weekend. Dude, it's not even that big of a spoiler. This happens at the very end of the movie. Like it's not it's it doesn't change the ups and the lows, the highs and the lows of the movie at all. It's not even that big of a spoiler, to be honest. Actually, I think it hurts the brand of Avengers. It sullies that name, and we don't need that. We need the Avengers brand to be like top tier, respected, saluted. Marvel Entertainment. Let me go to their Twitter account, and you can see what they're doing. We got my boy Sebastian Stan, and he's going walking around the city, noticing that there's some Thunderbolts, and then he puts up a Thunderbolts poster, and he's so proud he is. He's so satisfied with what he just did. They're doing that, and he's going around the city and marketing even after a movie is out. And that's kind of a new thing. I find that usually when a Marvel movie or any movie, by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, the actors are done. They've hit up all the couches. They're usually done by then. So this is nice. And they probably filmed this and recorded this while they were still doing the media run. Maybe the actors are just chilling at home. But yeah, like have some things in the back. Have some stored content, stored promotional content that you can just be using on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. I appreciate this marketing while the movie's out there. Get someone on an impulse buy to go to the movie theaters. It's a huge spoiler. It's at the end of the movie. Because it's at the end of the movie, it's a huge spoiler, but it doesn't ruin the beginning of the movie and the feelings and the emotions, the talks, the conversations people are gonna have. The Just because at the end of the movie, I think I know what you mean, but still, I like the fact that there's 2 new Avengers teams. It adds drama. There are a trash Avengers team. Dog, they're a knockoff Avengers team. They're calling themselves the Avengers, and we know that they're not Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, the Hulk. It's not the real Black Widow. I know. I know what you mean, and it's disgraceful, but it's what they're doing. They did a movie in New York City in Avengers Tower. You know what I mean? No Spider-Man showed up. Doctor Strange didn't pop up, even though he's in New York City. But these are the Avengers. I know. Grace Randolph, beyond the trailer, thinks this movie is screwed because of the box office, in spite of the fact that she liked it. What does that mean? She's not removing herself from reality because she liked the movie. She thinks the movie is screwed because of the box office. Grace blows. I'm not sure what you mean. If she's looking at like numbers and digits and goes, "Oh, look, the movie's not doing well," it's going to be screwed because historically, when a movie only opens to 161, however it was, 161 million globally worldwide, it means that it won't reach $500 million. Usually, that doesn't happen. That happens for like Elemental. That happens a few times where a movie would gross a little bit and then it would have longevity and we can reach a higher number. But I don't think this movie reaches a profitability point, and it's not wrong for Grace Randolph to say that, bro. A lot of people from Yelena's team aren't making it out of Doomsday. I don't want them in Doomsday, dude. I don't want them in Doomsday. So as I'm looking at all of the shifting and marketing, they've got the new posters and they've got that little graphic that is so cool. Go ahead. Not super, not heroes, not giving up. The new Avengers now playing in theaters. People are still gonna look at the photo and they're gonna see Red Guardian. Who the hell is this masked guy with the beard? I think I know him. Wasn't that the guy? He was Winter Soldier, wasn't he? Yeah, solid C-list compliment to the casting of all the other Avengers movies. But he's standing behind the one who's not Natasha Romanoff. Oh, they got Ghost. Oh yeah, that was the Taskmaster, wasn't it? Ghost, is that Ghost? Who is she? She's a new character. I wonder who that is. The people who you're trying to attract by the word Avengers, who's that casual movie going audience? And if Mike is here, casual doesn't mean, oh, they don't read comic books. They're casual. No, casual is bigger than that. There are a lot of people who've seen all 30 movies out of Marvel. They just never read a comic book in their life. Those aren't casuals. So there's a bunch of casual viewers, movie viewers who are interested in Marvel. They've seen Deadpool. They probably skipped Brave New World, and they probably skipped maybe Guardians, but they did watch Shang-Chi, but they didn't see Eternals. But there's people like that who you're trying to attract. You put the word Avengers, theoretically, they're gonna come. Oh, there's an Avengers movie. Ah, interesting. Theoretically, that's how it works, and this is all theoretical. This strategy that they're doing, which I'm in a favor of, can work. And if it does work, I hope that changes movies for the rest of time. I still think that the strategy of you thought it was the Thunderbolts B is called the Avengers. Now playing in the go ahead. Thunderbolts? Nah, the Avengers. That's gonna pop up on a whole bunch of people's Twitter. This strategy won't work because they'll look up and they'll see these 6 faces and they're gonna have a involuntary vomit reaction. They're gonna see these 6 people and say, "Who?" And just whatever. Oh, they're doing this new thing. If they were really the Avengers, they would have marketed the Avengers. They would have been actually called Avengers from start if this was the true Avengers. A lot of people from yelling. They always put an asterisk behind Thunderbolts, so it was always going to change. Yeah, it was always going to change for us who were paying attention. Not my Avengers, says the Lawrence report, dude. So are they going to do the Young Avengers next? I've been waiting on that. Maybe in a TV format. But this is the last time they should ever throw the name Avengers on something that doesn't have Thor, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Panther, the Black Panther. This is the last time they should do this with the word Avengers. We should respect that branding. We should have it in high regard. Hold it in high regard. Anzo says, and now there is one in front of the new Avengers. So there's a chances it will change again. What? Oh, the asterisk is still there. If I don't know much about asterisks, but when you put the asterisk at the end of Thunderbolts and now the asterisk is at the front of the new Avengers, I feel like that's because it's on the left. They're not trying to say we're going to change it again. They're trying to say this is what it changed to. The Dark Avengers? Like, what will it change to? Who knows? Marvel Entertainment has been marketing that way for the last couple. I like this, where she just strips words. Yeah. It's interesting to me. It's like, look, this is the spoiler, and now you might feel like you missed out, which will make people who don't see the movie, who have not seen the movie on opening weekend, it will make those people be like, damn, I can't miss these Marvel movies because if I don't see it in 3 days, it's gonna get out there. People are gonna okay, I gotta see the movie. A fear of missing out, and it's a sense of urgency to see the film. Like this is just good marketing, but the content in which you're marketing isn't like a barn burner. I like it, and I also have to criticize it. I don't like lying for this company, and I don't like the excuses people make. Like when they say Kevin Feige was just stretched too thin, and you had to chase him down in the office because he just wouldn't answer any emails. He's been doing so much, which is what Wall Street Journal had published, which he had them publish. It was an exclusive interview Kevin Feige gave to Wall Street, and whoop, this might be important, more important than every viewer who's on my screen right now. I'm gonna say I'm live streaming. Hold up. I'm live streaming right now. There we go. Apologies, but real life comes first. Perp says I was. Oh, let me get to my point. Yeah, Wall Street Journal and how Kevin Feige was talking to them, and he was telling them all about how listen, everything that's going on in my Marvel is too much, and he's trying to kind of complain and try to tell Disney, who reads Wall Street Journal, one of them Disney executives, get this in your mind that you're giving too much to work with, and that's kind of what's going on with the downfall of all this. When I don't have to worry about Wonder Man and X-Men 97 and Spider-Man friend and What If and Marvel Zombies, and when I don't have to worry about Ironheart, when I don't have to worry about all these things, then I can get it right. And I'm going, nah, you guys are doomed by just naming those projects, by just doing Vision Quest 4 or 5 years after WandaVision. We'll see Vision Quest. They're working on that right now. or you're doomed. You're dooming yourself, and it's not because you're stretched too thin. It's because you are producing content which is not your heavy hitters. You own $1 billion franchises like the X-Men. Deadpool is a separate franchise. Thor is a maybe not $1 billion, but he's up there. He's profitable. The Black Panther is a profitable, and good luck with that one because you may have ruined things. T'Challa. Iron Man, you have to go ahead and kill Robert Downey. I would not have killed Robert Downey Jr. and everything in 2019. I don't care if he's really expensive. You have the money. You know that you have the money. That's why Wade Wilson, Deadpool, is going to be returning. That's 5 characters, not to mention Spider-Man. That's 5. You guaranteed you put that on a title, it's making money. Avengers is another one. Then there's riskier ones. Doctor Strange, there's riskier ones where, you probably could make money with them, but they're not for sure. You know what I mean? But you have enough of them. Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn, we don't know how much that'll do, but I'd rather see that than I would rather see Thunderbolts. So Guardians 4 I would do. You have the next few years, and instead, you're not being stretched too thin, Kevin. You're just deciding to do movies about Eternals and Thunderbolts and movies about a Black Widow after she dies in Endgame. You did a Black Widow movie. You're just missing on what the audience is asking for. You're doing a Captain Marvel sequel with no word Captain Marvel in it. What else was there was another Moon Knight. You did Moon Knight. Irrelevant shows. You're not being stretched too thin, bro. There's nothing you could have done. And then you're misdiagnosing your issue. You're talking about how people need things to be separate. We like crossover. That's the point of a cinematic universe. That's what makes you guys so special than other things, because we get to revisit the world. Other movies, every other movie that's in the cinema right now, which was not like a franchise, connected universe franchise, every other movie is not like that. You guys were like the first to do it. The first to do movies where people are going to go separate ways, and then they unite for an Avengers, then they cross over again for a Civil War, then they'll cross over again. And then you see Shang-Chi, and he's talking to all the real Avengers. Bruce Banner talking to, I think Okoye was in that room, Wong was in that room, Captain Marvel was in that room. The real Avengers, the real like people who do these conferences, the real geniuses behind the scenes. We like that, and we get interested. We want to see Spider-Man in New York with the Avengers Tower. You're not being stretched too thin. You're actually not putting in any effort to connect. It's Mother's Day weekend. There will be a drop. Yeah, because like no one wants to take their mother to see a Marvel movie. Instead, they'll take their mother to see the female movie or do something else with their mothers. That's a good thinking, Lawrence. Mother's Day is a pretty big holiday where I think that dent will exist. But is the mothers your target audience, though? No, their sons of the mothers are your target audience. Lilo and Stitch Mission Impossible. That's coming next 2 weeks from now. Then we're done. I don't give a if any of these films do well. It will not stop me from watching and enjoying them. Okay. It will stop the movies from existing if the movies don't do well. Then we don't have money for a $180 million budget for Thunderbolts. So you do need to be thinking or at least recognize that these conversations are happening for good reason. I want the movies to do well too and be good quality. But I know that if they're best movies ever and no one's watching them, we're at a problem. Some people like Thunderbolts and say it's the best movie and Marvel's back. I don't see what you guys are seeing. I don't hate it either. I'm just saying it's a movie that happens and it's really nothing special, nothing fantastic. It's like Quantumania levels. It's like Brave New World levels, if you ask me. It's about characters who I just whatever. I don't care who they are. It's just to me. But people think that Thunderbolts is quality. You see, that's what really matters. Okay, then buy the toys, sell the merchandise that they're selling. Sell it out. Ensure that this movie is worth it for Marvel, and then they'll make more of these. They'll use the same director again because they liked what he did or she did, whoever the director. People usually take their mothers out to eat on Mother's Day. Kevin Smith's View Askew universe. They will still use these films regardless, and they will make whatever they want to, despite what fans want. Can they still afford to do that? They could do that when Kevin Feige was on top. But after this movie doing poorly, should it do poorly? Because we can't say that. It's not cemented yet. But should it do poorly? You got to rack that up with Brave New World. And you got to add that to the Marvels. Add that to Quantumania's low performance. And that's 4 of their last 7 movies that were in the 400 million territory or less. That's when people are gonna say Disney is gonna say, "We can't justify this 180 million budget." And they would be right to. We can for Avengers. We understand the Russos are gonna cost you a lot, and Robert Downey is asking for lots of money. Makes sense. Hope we can profit off of it, but we're expecting $1 billion, maybe even 2 billion. It's called the Avengers, which is nuts. They expect 2 billion, but that's what the other 2 Avengers did recently. So we expect to make a whole lot of money. We're good. And because it does so well, that will allow them to like offset the costs of what these movies just did, like Thunderbolts is about to do. The new Avengers strategy and the post weekend, the Monday afterwards strategy is something I'm going to give a 2 thumbs up to. The Black Panther, can you imagine if they did this? Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Who's going to be the Panther? We don't know. We don't know. And then on Monday, it's Shuri, and she says, "I'm the Panther now." And you see how like the content that they're marketing sucks. You see how like it wouldn't work because what you're giving me in the movie isn't like a fantastic thing, or T'Challa dies, and that's how they marketed the Monday after. It doesn't work. But let's think of a movie that was awesome. Okay, Thanos in Infinity War. Everyone watches Infinity War in the first weekend, and then the next weekend you see this commercial where just that, or you'll see like another poster of the Avengers, except they're all being turned into dust. So like basically everyone's face is halfway there and turned into dust, and you're wondering what the hell's going on. I gotta see this damn movie. People are turning into dust. You can use that post opening weekend strategy to attract people who feel like they're missing out. I think it's a great idea to do, because you have to value your hardcores more than you value the maybe I'll see the movie types of people. This Reach out to the maybe I'll see the movie types of people. The same marketing with Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn film. They renamed it to Harley Quinn and just mean it's not doing good in the box office. No. Fatal J, the plan was always to do this. That's why it had an asterisk originally. So I can't say like this is reactionary the way Birds of Prey was. Birds of Prey was totally reactionary. It's the #1 movie in the world, and it's Rotten Tomatoes fresh. They really care about that Rotten Tomatoes. But it's still them. I don't know what they think we're looking at when this has got Marvel Studios. So if you're a fan, or if you're relatively familiar, you see the brand, and so you don't change the channel, or you don't stop. You'll scroll. You'll stay here. Marvel Studios, boom. And then these 5 faces pop up, and you only recognize him as a supporting character, and and as a casual, you don't really remember him or her. His face is covered, so you can't really remember him. No one remembers Ghost. How do they think they're marketing anything when he goes straight from "you have my interest" to "you lost my interest"? And then one of the best movies. Here, let's play it.
And now it's the #1 movie in the world. Marvel Studios, Marvel movies of all time, has critics cheering. You guys hear that? And now it's the #1 movie in the world. It's certified fresh with a 96% audience score. And it's a must-see in IMAX.
Give us your money.
Marvel
It's must see in IMAX, where the tickets cost an extra $10.
Thunderbolts! Rated PG-13.
I don't know how how are we gonna sell this movie? We're gonna make Red Guardian say
Thunderbolts!
That's gonna just shoot $1 billion. The Thunderbolts wasn't it. Making that movie, even when you call it the Avengers, is not gonna help. This was a good day for me. I watched a lot of other people kind of cover this movie and give their take, and kind of everyone's saying the same thing about the quality of the movie just didn't matter because the movie was what the movie was. This is a really good time to shift to shift with. I mean, after next week, we got to wait for this marketing strategy to pan out and see if there's going to be a drop of 80% from Sunday to Monday, or if there will be a drop of 10% from Sunday to Monday. I don't know. Maybe Sinners is in the air, and it's getting a lot of movies and building people's interest to go to see the movie theaters. But I think this is where we actually have to reflect what's working, what's not. Stop putting movies that are fresh movies into streaming after 90 days. There's no fear of missing out. Stop that stuff. Like, that has a long-term effect on every single movie that you do. Make people want to go see the movie and have to feel like they got to see the movie, and not advertise this home experience that you've got. You know what's special? When Brave New World hits home streaming in a couple weeks from now, because it's almost 90 days. In a couple weeks from now, it'll come out, and people who have seen Brave New World, they will have just seen it in the movie theaters. They might not want to see it again on streaming services. Wait 180 days, wait 6 months later, and be like, oh, that's that movie that I saw in February. It's been a while. I've forgotten a couple things about the movie, so I enjoyed it or I didn't enjoy it, but it's a Marvel movie. I might be more likely to click play on it on my streaming service. If every movie is just 6 months apart from its theatrical release when it comes on streaming, people are more inclined to watch a movie where they've kind of forgotten a little bit about it and they want to revisit it than they are if they just seen the movie. And now that's the people who paid for a movie ticket. Now, for the people who don't pay for a movie ticket and the ones who go, it'll be on streaming later. Now it'll be on streaming later. It's a whole lot later, which might actually make them buy a movie ticket. So that's one thing to assess. The next thing to assess is a crossing over. And that's something that Kevin Feige's in denial with. He thinks that you got to separate things. Spider-Man, the cartoon Spider-Man, was supposed to be canon. It was the Tom Holland character was supposed to be that cartoon. And they decided early, too complicated, so we'll do something else. It's too restrictive, they said. If you're not skillful enough to do a connected universe, you are not capable of working at Marvel Studios in 2025. We're in a new era. We're not in year 2000. We're in a new era of storytelling where things need to attach. Maybe you need to hire a continuity director of canon. Maybe you need to invent positions that don't exist and have additional executives. I would recommend that. It's not my money, but put out like a casting call or hire a damn YouTuber. Go find a comic book creator who has, Christopher Yost, Jeffrey Thorne, Brian Edward Hill. Go find somebody who's already in the Marvel bullpen, who has created things for you, who is comic book wise. There's things you don't really need to explain. He knows what's going on, or she knows what's going on. Do that. Go find that creator of continuity, the director of, we're in New York, right? Well, when the last time we were in New York, Shimagoroth was attacking. Well, we got to have the remnants of that, or we got to reference it, or we got to have Doctor Strange popping right after the fight through a portal and like, what's going on here? No, we took care of it, Doc. Okay. We got to do that. Now, you can't do that because of contracts, which brings me to my next point. Figure out the gosh darn contract situation. Every new actor who's joining needs not to be a big name. Big names do not help. How well did it help that you had Red Guardian being played by David Harbour? Thunderbolts. How badly did that help? This guy popular. Everyone knows him from Stranger Things. You probably could have got a no-name Russian actor with an authentic Russian accent. You would have saved $1 million. You would have saved the money that you've been spending on Dave Harbour, and the movie would have done just the same. And unlike David Harbour, this Russian actor, who you just kind of scouted, who you're giving him more money than he's ever seen, he would sign something for like, you got to appear in 10 TV shows. You got to have this many movies, and we're not going to pay you that much. We'll still pay you lots of money because it's Hollywood. You're getting paid lots of money just to act, but you're not getting paid Dave Harbour money. If you can figure that out, then you can have these characters appearing all the time. And you can have Doctor Strange, and you can have Spider-Man, who are New Yorkers, showing up. You can have Daredevil just in the middle of your Thunderbolts movie. What's that? He wouldn't look. He's deaf. But he'd be like, It sounds like there's a fight. Like, you could have a little cameo cutaway, and that would be like, yeah, this is an attached universe. I remember. You could have someone's phone go off, and it would be like, oh, there's trouble in New York. And then he looked, the camera's on the phone, and then it pans up to somebody's face. And you'd be like, oh, that's that superhero we haven't seen Wanda in Forever, or like Carol Danvers is talking to Nick Fury, and they're just chit chatting about some. Like, you could have these guys, but Samuel L. Jackson is a very in demand actor. Brie Larson was an Oscar winner when you got her. Too many options. Go find unknowns. Go find unknowns. Lessons to be learned from this, bro. You don't have to, when you get these X-Men, please make these mutants we've never heard of. Don't look at Sadie Sink. Don't look at the guys who have options who are going to be doing other things. Changing the movie from Thunderbolts to New Avengers is not good marketing when I think about it. Just confuse casual audiences. It makes them ask questions. How was confusion bad? The only thing that confusion could be bad is if the date of the movie was like May 10 and also April 10. That would be confusing. Movie was good, but people will forget about it in a few weeks. It's a McDonald's cinema. I agree with that, Fatal J. What's up, Chill? You've been going in. What's up, chat? Yeah, I'm trying to do this every single day. I think Marvel has plateaued. One banger every 3 to 4 years. The rest are mid. What I miss? Just me complaining about the new title, changing it. Changing it doesn't really fix that the movie is still about these characters, and they will realize that. We did the same thing for Falcon. When I saw Brave New World and I saw the picture of Sam Wilson, I'm going, oh, well, that's a Sam Wilson movie. And sometimes they had pictures of Red Hulk in bigger than Sam Wilson was on the poster, and we all know why that is. The answer, my friends, is racism. It is just the ideology of these people and how they wanted to market that movie. I'm already prepared for them to F up X-Men, but of course I want to see it. Who are they going to get to direct this movie? And now for the director, that's when you get a big name. That's when you get a qualified person who's proven track record. I feel you, but when no names become stars, they want more money. More money. All right. That no name who they cast to be Scott Summers in the next X-Men movie will become a star. I guarantee he will become a A-lister eventually. Not by the first movie, then by the second movie. So when the no names become stars, they're going to want more money. I told you, sign them for long term. You say that you're getting $1 million per movie, $500,000 per cameo, supporting role, whatever the wording language is. That's your deal, and we have you for the next 10 pictures for 10 to 20 years. You are set until the MCU is over. They've been going for 17 years. They might have another 10 years left, or maybe longer. You just sign the dude. What do you mean they're going to ask for more money? You already signed. You agreed when you were a nobody that you would do this for us. And we're going to give you $1 million per movie instead of waiting for that 5-picture deal to run out. And then the actor coming to the negotiation table being like, hey, yo, price has gone up. I'm no longer doing movies for $1 million. I require $10 million per my movie. I'm playing Scott Summers Cyclops. What are you going to do? They're going to do the same thing Iron Man did to you. They're going to do the same thing with Chris Hemsworth. Great actor. Shout out to him. I love everything he does. He came in as a relatively unknown guy. He signed for maybe 7 pictures, and when his contract finally came out, we're at a place post Endgame where he can say no, and we haven't seen Thor except for one time in one movie. He can say, I don't even think he was in Deadpool. He can say no, and he's costly, and it's hard. Russo brothers have cards with the actor, with their name, their character they play, the cost, what their contract situation is, because there's a certain amount of minutes per contract. There's a certain amount, like there's so many restrictions that they have to work with to do the creative storytelling. So to your live chat where you said something about actors are going to ask for more money, just sign them early for long term so we never get to the point where the contract is up and negotiations need to be made. Everybody wins. The actor comes from obscurity as a 25-year-old fresh out of acting college. He gets to be a world famous star, and he'll be doing other movies. It's not like he's only going to be doing Marvel, and he can demand money from them and tell other studios, hey guys, I'm the guy who plays the superhero, so I'm only going to work for this amount. You can tell everyone else that, but sign with Marvel for something long term. I don't get that. F up X-Men. Most of the Fox X-Men movies were shy. Most? I liked a lot of them. I liked more of them that I didn't like. I don't think it's the characters. I think it's Marvel as a brand that is tainted. Marvel is trash. The brand is tainted. Of course it is. Because if this movie comes out in 2019, we're talking about a bigger weekend. It's probably going to make 200 million, not 100 million. No one is signing a deal like that. Chill. Okay. There's nothing Iman Vellani would have not signed. She plays Kamala Khan. No one is signing a deal like that. Chill. You're just wrong, extremely wrong. You think these actors? What kind of actor is going to sign for $1 million? What kind of no-name actor who just started their career is going to get offered a superhero role and say, Fantastic Four will flop, the brand is damaged? Nah, don't say that yet. We don't know that. We don't know that. It's too early to say that, Basco. What is flop for you? If you tell me that movie only grosses $600 million and you're saying that's a flop, I would have to ask what the budget is. I don't know. What's flop? Define flop. Give me flop. Not only do I read comics, but I have been an avid reader since 1988. You're right. I was thinking about the Scarlett Johansson thing, but it was after her contract was up. She got 20 for her movie. And by that time, she had already been in The Prestige, and Scarlett Johansson has been in Home Alone 3. She's already been in movies. Like, she had a skill. And let's be real, the way that she looked was enough to demand money from other studios and things. And they got what they got out of her, which, wow, let's say they signed for 3 pictures. By the 3rd picture, which would have been Avengers Ultron for her, Robert Downey, it was the 4th. Robert Downey Jr. said, I'm not coming back for my movie for Avengers Age of Ultron unless you can ensure that my coworkers all get a raise. That's leverage that he has. That's pesky. It hurts as to your studio. But I also defend Robert Downey for putting for negotiating that. I respect everyone for leveraging their negotiation powers and how awesome it is that he got his friends paid because his contract was up. And every time he did a new movie, it was like a 1-picture deal or maybe 2-picture deal if you count Infinity War Endgame. But he was always negotiating and negotiating again and demanding money. And the money existed because Iron Man was in the movie and he, for what his acting capabilities made, he's responsible for millions of dollars. Like, if you ask me, the Thunderbolts and what it grossed in the opening weekend, you have to associate a percentage of that to the work that Robert Downey Jr. did when his acting capabilities for the Iron Man character. Let's see. What if the no-names can't get to do other films because they're locked in a 10-year contract? You're only on set filming for 60 days on a regular movie. So out of the 365, they will have, maybe there are going to be some years where they're packed, but they will have opportunities to do other movies. Blue's House, Big Dog, you tripping if they follow the comics, a blueprint, they will win. E-Man would have done it for peanuts. Yeah, that's what I mean. Fantastic Four is a damaged brand as well. You're kind of right. It has to make 600 to be profitable. I will be shocked if it makes it to 400. I think it gets to 400. Brave New World got to 414. I think especially with this new marketing push, Avengers, and it's white superhero, so it'll be easier to sell worldwide. I think Avengers, new Avengers, Thunderbolts makes it to 400. Breaking even or less is a flop. No, I wouldn't call it that. I would say you could say it's disappointing because the goal isn't just to break even. I could agree with you there, but I wouldn't say that's flop. Flop, I assume flop with like you didn't make enough money back so badly that even when you count in merchandising, you still didn't make enough money. That's a flop, when it's not debatable, I would call that a flop. What does the term mean for Hollywood executives? That's probably more important than what we're talking about here. Marvel does not follow the comics. Thus has been proven time and time again. Marvel's leadership is played. Every decision they have done has led them here. We agree. Hey, Blue, fire Kevin Feige. Like, Kevin Feige is going to get lucky because the next few movies are Fantastic Four, which should make money. It should break even. Avengers, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. He got lucky. What he announces at Comic-Con, like what's to come after Avengers, like that's going to determine whether or not this man should be fired or not. I think they're looking at him like, yo, bro, you're not magic. Like, you're not what you used to be. You are planning things that are going to go bad. And we could tell you that a mile away. Why the hell would you make a movie called Thunderbolts using these C-listers? I think Disney's looking at him like, yo, you're not special anymore. We thank you for what you were able to do. You had sense. You had Infinity Stones, which mean that every single movie with an Infinity Stones was attached just by that plot narrative. And you had your actors show up, moments in between the other people movie they were from crossing over. I liked in Thor: Dark World when Loki transformed into Captain America. And yeah, Chris Evans, he was on set. He was doing a thing where he was pretending to be Loki, pretending to be Captain America. That was awesome, and it was just a little moment. And we had Guardians of the Galaxy crossover with Thor: Dark World also at the end. We had a lot of crossing over, and it felt we were going somewhere. Even when Doctor Strange happens, it was in New York City, and there was moments in Doctor Strange was attached. They don't do that anymore. Trying to bring it back to the concept art of Doomsday and Secret Wars looks fresh off the page. That was a good moment. That was a nice week that we had. I wonder how Variety is going to spin the second weekend drop for Thunderbolts. Rebecca Rubin is probably going to be the one writing that article too. I'm interested in seeing. Yeah, I should go there right now. Let's go to Variety and see how they framed Thunderbolts. It says the Diddy trial begins. Come on, Variety. Give me. It's not opening. I'm clicking on the search bar. I don't know how to use Variety, fam. Yeah, it's just not working. But here, Thunderbolts. Okay, someone's talking about what I was just talking about. Zach Sharf writes, Marvel changes Thunderbolts posters to reveal the meaning of that asterisk, but it's a spoiler for the movie's big reveal. Spoiler alert. Marvel's wasting no time spoiling the end of the tentpole Thunderbolts. A giant billboard in Los Angeles promoting the Marvel movie got where's got movie got a massive facelift during the end of the film's opening weekend as the title changed from Thunderbolts to New Avengers. Studio then posted a video of the film's cast ripping Thunderbolts to reveal New Avengers. Marvel fans had long been wondering why the official Thunderbolts title included an asterisk. The answer is revealed in the third act of the movie when Val announces that group's name is the New Avengers. The team includes Yelena, Bucky, blah, blah, blah. In the film's post-credit scene, it's revealed that the New Avengers are living in old Avengers headquarters, now called the Watchtower. They're also in a legal battle with Captain America over copyright infringements of the Avengers logo. What? Oh, Anthony Mackie, Captain. I was about to say Captain America. What? Yeah. So Sam, Captain America: Brave New World ended with Mackie, Sam Wilson heading out on a mission to reassemble the Avengers. The Thunderbolts cast will be back in action next summer in Avengers: Doomsday, which is likely when the new Avengers are going to have to team up with the original Avengers plus the Fantastic Four in order to stop Robert Downey Jr.'s mega villain. The other major tease on Thunderbolts post-credit scene shows the Fantastic Four spaceship Earth's orbit from another dimension as the theme music plays. That's about all I want to read from that article. So, people are paying attention. No chill, still have Disney Plus shows that will be bad. Yeah, you're right. Eyes of Wakanda is gonna come out, and there's gonna be Ironheart coming out, a TV show that they had for 2 years. They'll probably build on Wakanda Forever. The first thing that will reference Wakanda Forever since November of 2022 will be Ironheart. You're right. Wonder Main, Marvel Zombies. These things will continue. Yes, the damage of the TV shows are so damaging. Marvel's got to live with this, bro. You did this. You developed this. Where enough of us were telling you not to, and you decided to. The brand has been damaged. It's not special. But don't forget that Deadpool and Wolverine made Black Panther numbers. Don't forget that. So it can exist. You can get that money back. You can do a movie called X-Force and show Deadpool in the center of that. Show Colossus, show Psylocke, and let me think of a higher profile X-Men person. Wolverine, of course. You can have them in the movie title, movie poster. Call it X-Force. Don't have to worry about asterisks or nothing. Just do it, and you can make money. And I would be interested in seeing it. and you own it. It's Universal and Sony don't own it. You can do that. Associate Ryan Reynolds. Take him up on his script that he's writing right now, the treatments that he's working on. But you choose not to, Kevin. Very complaint-heavy stream today. But they deserve it. After the box office disaster that they just put out with the Thunderbolts movie, they deserve it. I'm going to go back to Box Office Mojo and show you that the Thunderbolts has grossed 162 worldwide. The domestic audience was a small 76 million, roughly, and the international audience was 86 million. Unlike Sinners, the international audience showed up more than the domestic audience, and that is called white privilege. People in the English-speaking worlds tend to resemble these people on the screen right here, these Thunderbolts actors, and they pay like that. Wakanda Forever? The signs were there. This movie only grossed $859, and I say only because of how big the budget was, and it was like a 2 hour and a half, 41-minute movie. There was like 40 minutes more of movie, so the budget needed 40 minutes more of budget. Anyways, $859, right? $859. Look at how the worldwide box office worked out. The domestics were 52%. There were more domestics there than there were internationally because of the pesky little thing we call white supremacy. Furthermore, there was more signs because in this domestic, many of the audience who came to see Black Panther, many of them only come for Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2. And it's not your typical average Marvel. If you considered, if you just would have said and thought about how, thankfully we got this Black Panther franchise where Black people are going to come see the movie and that they make up 30-40% of the ticket buyings. If you just realize that your regular Marvel audience didn't show up, and that's really if you just subtract the extra black money that just because there's a new audience. If you subtract that from that $800 million worldwide, we're talking also about a movie that grosses at least $700 million, maybe even less. Even that is inflated. Maybe 600 million. If Wakanda Forever just makes regular black people money, we're talking about a $600 million grossing film, which is bad considering the budget. Thank you for coming to my live stream. I always end on something woke, and recognizing racism is very woke. What's the difference between worldwide and international? Well, worldwide is when you add the domestics, Canada, America, and when you add international, which is the rest of the world, then they'll tell you this is what we made worldwide. That's just their language that they use. But linguistically, I can see why you would say worldwide, international. What's the difference? That's the difference. A lot of complaining. You do this almost every stream. I'm more constructive, though. I can still give them points for this new strategy of ripping off Thunderbolts and saying Avengers. Okay? We'll be back next time. Daytime. I'm going to go away. If you want to see a good stream, go watch Josh from Den of Nerds. He was killing it. He did a great stream earlier today. Chill out.